all is well and unfolding as it should. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, St. Augustine, Florida. I am Eddie Watkins Jr., and I am so blessed to serve you this morning. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to community. That is my first song. I think it's a song that might be familiar to everyone, and if you are familiar with this song, please feel free to sing along. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean. All you got to do is let me hear you say it. All you got to do is early in the morning, late in the evening. All you got to do is, you can Facebook me, oh, and you can tweet me. All you got to do is call me. But if you can help it, not too early. No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone, and someone cares for you as an individualization of divine point of view. This door, oh, this door right here is open for you. Oh, this door, I'm talking about this door. I said this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open to you. Oh, yeah. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden, that garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, that garden is you. That garden is you. You and you and you and you. You are that beautiful garden. And now, my brothers and sisters, I think it's time. It's time to welcome our spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Ken Wilcox.
Oh. Thank you. The amazing Eddie Watkins Jr., everybody. Don't you love him? Isn't it great to be able to come here on a Sunday morning and get such wonderful music and inspiration? So, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in St. Augustine. You know, all life asks, the only thing it asks for you and the only thing it requires of you is the opportunity to appear in more love and joy and happiness and prosperity. And we can do this easily if we will just let go of our fears, our doubts, our would-haves, could-haves, should-haves. That's the only thing that I asked you to do each Sunday morning is leave all that stuff outside. All the trouble you hear in the news, all the complaints you get from your family, all the worries from the work, leave all that stuff outside. And the next 45 minutes or so, to open up an avenue of spirit possibilities in your life. And what are spirit possibilities? They're for more love and joy and happiness, more friendship, more laughter, more dance, all those things that make us feel alive, because that's what God is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love and joy and laughter. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, just two announcements before I get going, or before we get going. One of them rather sad. Our dear friend Guy Reed transitioned this past week. If you did not know Guy, he was probably the most loving soul that ever walked the earth. He really was a very kind and compassionate person. He was the person that hauled all our food that we collect every week down to the food pantry. And the gentleman that organizes the food pantry, he said, Guy has probably fed thousands of people, in his time here. He was a wonderful person. We loved having him here, and we know that in his transition, he's moving on to even greater things. He was a very private person, and when I talked to his older sister in Oxford, North Carolina, she shared with me that he didn't share with his family much of his life here. They didn't know all the good stuff he was doing. So we have her address out on the table out there. If you will, there, Terry, the lovely Terry Hoke, the CSL Vanna White. She is modeling them for you. Pick them up and send a card to her. That'll be a wonderful blessing that you can do for her. And just let her know what a great guy her little brother was, and what a great guy, how many people he helped. Now, the other thing I will bring up just shortly is, of course, can probably imagine the last 2 months have been tough for us financially. I've written a letter outlining what's going on and with a possible opportunity for us. Someone is willing to donate $10,000. But it comes with a catch that we have to match that $10,000. I'm getting to get us going on that. I'm putting in $1,000 of my own money. I offered to do an interpretative dance for them for the $1,000. That did not work. I was surprised about that and rather hurt, but that's okay. So we need 9,000 more. Now, no, not everybody has 1,000 they can throw in, but be creative about it. Do you have an old boat you want to get rid of? We're not talking about your partner, an old car or something like that, or something to rent out. Maybe you have a timeshare you can rent out. Let's be creative. Now, what I want to stress to you is that, we're going through a period here, time here, everybody is, but we are going to make it through. We're going to get through this, and there's going to be a Sunday. Enjoy the extra space you have this Sunday, because there's going to come a Sunday when this auditorium is packed. There's going to come a Sunday when Eddie has a full choir singing behind him. There's going to come a Sunday when we've got a whole stage full of young people that we're inspiring and encouraging. There's coming a Sunday, but we got to hold on to it. We're going to have to make sure we're going to put faith into it, and we're going to have to know about it. We're going to have to pray about it. We're going to have to envision it, and if we do, we're going to get there one bright morning. All right, Eddie, let's get them some encouragement.
Some encouragement. I think we got a lot of that right here. Now, if you feel like standing, feel free to stand up and clap your hands. Just like that. It feels so good. Sounds like we got a tribe here. All right. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Woo! All right, here we go. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Ooh, take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. In the name of love, we come together.
In the name of love, we come together to bring about a greater life for ourselves, for each other in this world, and we can do it. And to make it happen, we encourage affirmative prayer. And I can't think of anyone better to do an affirmative prayer than my wonderful friend, Jim Saul. Come on up, Jim.
Thank you. Good morning. Just a quick reminder, every Sunday at 9:30, we also have a meditation. And the thing I like about it so much is we often have different people doing meditations, so we have different kinds of meditations by different people and different feelings about it and such, and it's really a good lesson in meditation. The last week or two, I've found a new book that I really like. It's called 3 Simple Lines by Natalie Goldberg. It's about haiku. And so to make my reading this morning a little short, I have one haiku. And I wrote it down because if there's only 3 simple lines, each word needs to be correct. So here it goes. This one is by Basho from 1644 to 1694. And he wrote this. How I long to see among the morning flowers the face of God. Let's take that idea of seeing and feeling and knowing the face of God into our affirmative prayer. And you can close your eyes if you like. And know with me that there is one divine intelligence that is everywhere present. It's here with us this morning. It's within us, it surrounds us, it guides us and teaches us and loves us unconditionally. And I know that I can feel that divine intelligence in my garden. I can feel it in the flowers being grateful when I water them with a garden hose. But I can also feel it and know it even in Walmart. It's there, and if our hearts feel it, know it, then it changes our world to a loving place. It changes our intelligence to being even more intelligent, more compassionate, more filled with love. And so this I ask of you for this week is when you move through this week, just feel the presence. And when you consciously feel the presence, it will be there in abundance. And it will assure you of its love, guide you, and help you to be even more compassionate than you usually are. And I know that this center is going to flourish. I remember when we had 120, 130 people here, and we rocked. And we will again. So come, feel the presence wherever you are, and know with me that this center is prosperous in the most valuable way. We love. So I give thanks for all of us being here. I give thanks for this divine intelligence, and I release this prayer to become so, simply and easily by saying, and so it is. Thank you.
Oh, no, wrong song, I'm sorry. Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do His thing. You look like the weight of the world's on your back. You take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change a thing if you knew what to do. So get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do its thing. The sun's gonna shine and the river's gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without your say-so. The universe is working and a good is flowing. You don't plant a seed, then dig it up and see if it's growing. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out the way and let God do its thing. I gotta do that one more time. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get your big head out the way. Get out the way and let God. You better let God, let God, let God, let God do His thing. Hey! Woo! Get on out the way.
Oh, thank you, Eddie. That's right. Get out of the way and let God do its thing. And what is God's thing? It can only be for more love, more joy, more life. That's all God's thing can be. And if we will get out of the way, let our worries, doubts, our meanness, ego, get all that stuff out of the way, Spirit is going to naturally bloom. Spirit's going to naturally bloom the great blessings of life. So that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're here this morning doing, and it's going to serve us well. Now, as you know, I've been going through the textbooks of the science of mind. We're getting towards the end of it, and this chapter is on the teachings of Jesus. So I entitled my talk today to Be the Miracle. Now, our teaching came from Christianity. We've said that we're Christianity and plus, a little bit more. Dr. Holmes did find the teachings very inspiring. He said of Jesus that what he was able to do was to go through life and constructively praise and creatively bless life around him, life as he found it. To bless and creatively bless and to praise. To look for something good. To go around looking for something good. You know, there was a time in my life when I was doing rather well. I was young. I was living in D.C. I was vice president of a public relations firm. And all I did from day to evening was go around looking for things to criticize and to tear down. And it's a wonder with that attitude that I got as high up in the business world as I did. I think that may say something about business in America right now. But I did. But the problem was I felt miserable. I felt miserable. And I criticized so much that I thought that was the truth. I really thought I was revealing the truth. But that's not the truth of life. And now I go around and look for things that I can praise. And if I can't praise it, I turn it over to Spirit. I do what I need to do. And I try not to obsess about it. I don't keep the news on 24 hours a day. And then I look for a better idea. Where's a better idea? Now, I'm sure many of you, like me, have been overwhelmed by all the negativity that we've had in the past couple of weeks. It seems we can't go 24 hours without a new calamity breaking out somewhere. And of course, we've had our dear friend pass away this past week. And I think people are rightly asking, and I think it's a legitimate question, why are we going through this? Why are we going through all this turmoil? And I think there's only one good answer for that, is that it's happening for us to find and to reveal a better idea for ourselves. That's why we're going through this, for us to know something better. And I think that something better is that we are the outlet of God, and that outlet is for us to live in more love and joy. That we are here to create a better world for ourselves, that we're here to make the world better for our just having been in it. That life in the world is going to be a little bit better because we were here. Dr. Holmes says we should learn to let goodness shine through us. He said we have to learn to see everyone as an evolving Christ. That's powerful. How many of us are willing to even think of ourselves as an evolving Christ? I have relatives that would be willing to burn me at the stake if I said, I'm an evolving Christ. Maybe a Jesus with training wheels, I don't know. But why shouldn't we think of ourselves as this evolving enlightenment? How much better is it to think of ourselves as that than to think of ourselves as some cosmic misfit in need of a good, hard lesson? And I think that was the idea I had in mind in D.C. when I went around criticizing everything. I think the fear I had was that I was somehow a cosmic misfit in need of a good, hard lesson. So I was going to go around and point out everything else wrong so that I would look better. But that does not need to be the truth for ourselves. How? How can we honor God's creation when we think so poorly of ourselves? Dr. Holmes says, let us live and think so we can sleep at night knowing that our souls are safe, that we can rise up in the morning renewed in body and in mind with a brighter outlet and a happier expectation, with a clearer joy, looking upon all with love, condemning none, and blessing even those who would harm us. Even blessing those. He said if we would think of ourselves as Spirit knows us, think of ourselves as Spirit knows us, he said our salvation would be complete. But many of us are too embarrassed or too ashamed to reveal ourselves. We consider ourselves unworthy of salvation or unworthy of a healing. I love the story, and Dr. Holmes covered it in this chapter, about the Roman centurion and Jesus. It's really a very fascinating story that has a lot of different levels to it. Now, the story is that there was a Roman centurion. He was high up in the Roman army. He would have been despised by the Jews. Despised as a heathen and the worst, trampling upon their sacred and holy land. So this Roman centurion, who would have been very high up, maybe like governor or something, he would have been very high. He would have been used to having thousands of people to dictate to and to command. He would have been living in very good situations. This Roman centurion had a servant he loved. And the servant falls ill, and it doesn't look good for the servant. So the Roman sends messengers to Jesus, and he tells them, come to my house, heal my servant. And before Jesus can make it to the centurion's house, more men come to him, and they tell him, they said, the centurion has said, don't come. He's not worthy. He feels he's not worthy to have you in his house. But he says, if you would but say the word, the servant will be healed. If you will just say the word, he will be healed. And Jesus said, through his faith, the servant is healed. Through his faith, the servant is healed. Jesus said that in faith is all we need to be healed. And it's remarkable because the healing took place not for Jesus, but for the centurion's faith and the centurion's love. Love was a healing agent. And in Scripture it says, Jesus marveled at the Roman's faith. He said, this man has more faith than all of Israel, this Roman. This person that's come to oppress his people, this man has more faith. It was a miracle that occurred through love, and we have that power to make love a miracle in our lives and to bring about every kind of goodness we want to experience in life. This past week, I created a video that I'm kind of proud of. It's on our YouTube site. It was called Create a Blessing. And I'm sort of evolving in my thought about affirmative prayer. You know, when I first got going in this teaching, we were instructed to pray for things, both practical, like a parking space, but everything that we wanted in life. And so I prayed for a partner, a house, and a good car. And I ended up with all three. And then a Mercedes is a fact, and actually a Mercedes is a partner too. I mean, I won on all three of those things. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having the good in life. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking now that maybe we can use affirmative prayer to both request a blessing, but to envision how we can be a blessing. We wait upon God to deliver us a miracle. So perhaps we can be the miracle. To go from I need the power of God in my life to I am the power of God in my life. I am that which is creating the miracles. I am that which is bringing about more love, more power, more joy. I am that which is the outlet. And I don't need to fear anybody. I don't need to fear any condition. Dr. Holmes says it's time. In fact, it's past time for us to wake up out of our slumber. He said the belief that life is apart from good is a dream, and we got to wake up from it. He says just as one wakes up from a nightmare, so the consciousness awakes up from the dream of a living death to a realization of eternal life. He said, we cast off the works of darkness when we realize evil is not an entity, evil is a fraud. It is a fraud. So this coming week, if you have somebody trying to convince you that you shouldn't have the health you deserve, you shouldn't have the prosperity, you shouldn't have the love, you think to yourself, you are a fraud. Now, you don't need to tell them that, because if you tell them that, you're just throwing a bone at a dog. You're just going to give them some more drama to fight about. But think it to yourself. What I like to do is use a line from the Lord's Prayer, deliver me from evil. And I'll say that 2 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. Deliver me from evil. Now, the evil that I am being delivered from is not the evil in the person that's trying to provoke me. That's not the evil. The evil that I need deliverance from is my willingness to allow myself to be provoked. That's what I need salvation from. It's like the character in the old comic strip Pogo. Remember Pogo? Pogo said, we've met the enemy and he is us. That's who we need deliverance from, our willingness to be provoked. We can be just like a sieve, like let the water flow through. The energy can't attach to you. You know, there was a time when I was the angry atheist period that I went through in my 20s. I used to love to argue with people about religion. Now, I have no need for it. You can't get me into an argument about religion. I'm happy to speak my truth. I will listen to you some, but after I get bored with it, I will send you on your way with blessings and love. If it's working for you, what business is it of mine? And there's nothing that you're going to say that convince me otherwise. So I have no need to argue or fuss with anybody. I know my truth, and I'm okay with it. And if we will have this attitude, it will create a shield around us that no trouble in the world can break through. Nothing can break through. Things will just bounce off. And if you have that kind of clarity, those people who want to argue and fuss and fight, they'll just avoid you. They won't even recognize you. They will go looking for another energy. We can become like my dear sister. I have an older sister, Reba. She's been in the hospital. She has been doing so great. But you can be like her. She was and she is a beauty queen. She's a beauty queen, lives in Louisiana. She likes to climb trees and shoot things. Taking a pot shot at the occasional husband every once in a while. She had 4 of them just to nick them, nothing bad. Those kinds of things happen in Louisiana. That much humidity, it's like a hurricane. With all that humidity down there, there's got to be a breakout somewhere. And one of her ex-husbands, this was way back before the stalking laws became a thing. Yeah, one of her ex-husbands was going to stalk her. She called up the sheriff. She says, look here, guys. She says, you better keep him 45 feet away from me, or I got a 45 that will. Now, no shooting, please. Not even ex-husbands. We don't need any of that. But you got to mean business about it. You got to mean business about it. And when you do, you'll find yourself allowing frustration and anger to slide right on by you. And when that happens, give yourself brownie points. They used to use that when I was a kid. I don't know if people say that anymore, brownie points. But pat yourself on the back and say, I'm doing better. I'm growing. I'm evolving. And the next time that comes along, you'll pass it with flying colors. You won't even have to put any energy into it. You're growing. You're evolving. You remember the story of Jesus and the centurion. It said, Jesus marveled at the centurion's faith. Even Jesus was growing. Even Jesus was evolving. Dr. Holmes says this process of evolution is a little here, a little there, until our whole sight is restored. And we see that life is not separated from God or different from good. Life is God, and good is the only power there can be. So know yourself as good and get out there and make something really good happen. Have a vision of what you want to happen. Have a vision of this nation living in peace. Have a vision of this nation becoming a bright, shining city on the hill for all the world to look up to and aspire to. Have a vision of you living in health and love and prosperity. Have a vision of a wonderful family, a great set of friends that remind you to laugh and play. You've got the power, you've got the smarts, you've got the creativity of the universe calling on, and now's the time. So get out there and show the world, prove to the universe who you are and whose you are, and make the world a better place, for you haven't been in it. It's the truth. It is the truth in your life this morning, and so it is. Thank you.
Here we all are, gathered together in this place. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Spirit, reveal. How do we know what's true and what's real? We may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter long as we believe that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. What's going on in this world today? Where do we fit? And what can we do to make a difference? What can we say? Where do we go? This way or that way? But if we all pray and truly believe, and don't you know we got to love one another so we can let the world see that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. We may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter long as we believe that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question maybe, to whatever the question may be.
Thank you, Eddie Watkins. God is the answer. Now, I know people will say, well, the term God gives me a little problem. Say good. Good is the answer. Focus on the good you see around you. Focus on there's so many examples of how we're helping one another. We're inspiring one another. We're encouraging one another. We have not come to life to live in despair and turmoil and trouble. We're not victims, we're victors. And we're here to be mighty, mighty with love, mighty with compassion, mighty with kindness. And we're able to do it. Now, this center, we need your financial support. And we have the box there that you can drop it in. There's envelopes there as well. If you want to put money into our special fund that we're getting matched, just put Judy James on your check or the envelope, and we'll put it to that. But join with me for our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. And all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And don't be afraid of giving too much. You're not going to outgive God. No matter how much you give, you're going to find the support. You're going to find the love. You're going to find your life opening up and evolving to even a greater place than you've ever imagined before, because Spirit is there, ready to hold your hand and lead you on to a higher ground. That's where we're all headed, to a higher ground of love and inspiration, of kindness and compassion. We're all going to get there. Dr. Holmes says, no, not one of us is going to be missing. So we're on a wonderful journey, and we're headed home to our knowing that we are powerful, we are loved, we are wonderful, and God is with us, for us, and through us. All right, Eddie, play us some great music.
So you say we're going on a journey?
Yeah.
I agree. Here we go. We're going to the land of milk and honey, where you don't need no money. Talking about the journey deep inside, with infinite spirit as a guide, where your imagination can run free and you can realize all your dreams. Talking about the journey deep inside, with infinite spirit as a guide. Everything you want is already there. Whatever you desire, it will appear. Oh yeah, we'll be living in heaven here on earth, experience life for all it's worth. We're talking about the journey deep inside, with infinite spirit as a guide. But what you believe you can achieve, let your wild horses run free. We're talking about the journey deep inside, with infinite spirit as a guide. Everything you want is already there. Whatever you desire, it will appear. Oh yeah, we're going to the land of milk and honey, where you don't need no money. Talking about the journey deep inside, with infinite spirit as a guide, where your imagination can run free and you can realize all your dreams. Talking about the journey, talking about the journey. But let the Spirit be your guide, let the Spirit be your guide, let the Spirit be your guide. Let the Spirit be your guide, let the Spirit be your guide, let the Spirit be your guide. Woo!
Hey, thank you. Well, I'm going to close out our service with an affirmative prayer. Take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, just let that part slide by. And if you stick around long enough, I'm going to say something that doesn't work for you, so you'll get used to that part. But just know this truth for yourself this morning. There's but one God and one mind and one power. That power is perfect love. That power is divine goodness. That power is creative wisdom. And that power is flowing through me right now. It is flowing through me and urging me on to a land of milk and honey. This land is not where I am home. This is not my home, this land of turmoil and trouble. It is but the shadows of the passing night. And I am lifting my eyes up to know something better, that within me flows all the intelligence, the joy, and the love that I need to create a heaven and a new earth right here, right where I am. And it's what I've been called to do. So this morning I can look out on the world and see all the turmoil, and I can say, you are a fraud. You're not the truth. The truth is that God is good, God is love, life is good, and life is love. And I'm here to be that wonderful beacon of hope and love and inspiration for myself and everyone else. I am leaving my burdens down by the riverside, and I am casting my eyes to my home, a home of love and joy, of health and prosperity. This morning, God is calling me on, and this morning I am saying yes to it, to a life of abundance, a life of friendship and love and joy. It's my truth this morning. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last thought. Your life, it's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and to make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God is calling us to be. This is Reverend Ken with Eddie Watkins Jr. Until we see each other again, many blessings.
Feel free to stand and join me for the closing song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with our family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Namaste. God bless. Thank you. meant to tell you that was a beautiful poem that you read last week. Yes, I think it's called Annie's Song. Yes, John Denver.